Welcome back to Boob Buddies, from scars to stars. I'm Noreen, one of your Boob Buddies.
And I'm Stephanie, your other Boob Buddy.
Okay, and today we could not be more excited because we have our first ever guest on Boob Buddies. This is Kaitlin Nash.
Hi, guys.
And this is going to be an amazing episode. Today, our episode is called Too Young. Well, think again. This is all about Kaitlin's journey of courage and hope, because Kaitlin was diagnosed with breast cancer just in June at 23 years old. She turned 24 in August. And if it's okay, I'll give a little backstory.
Yeah, please.
About you. So Kaitlin, I call her my niece because she calls me Aunt Nor, but I'm actually her cousin, her second cousin. Kaitlin's mom was my first cousin. She was more like a sister to me because we did grow up in a two-family house. So my cousin Kathy Ann and my sister and I, we were like the Three Musketeers. Kathy Ann, at the age of, I think it was 47,
47.
was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. And at the time, she was told it was very early, it was stage 1. Unfortunately, her course did not go as we had all hoped, because within a year and a half, Kathy Ann passed away. I still get choked up by that. Kathy Ann is my angel. She's truly, oh my goodness, because she was the one who grabbed me while I was caring for her and said, Noreen, do something. You and I are so much alike. Please do something to change your path, because I feel like you're going to go down the same path. So I did, and she's my angel, and she's the reason I'm here. So unfortunately, in June, Kaitlin was diagnosed with breast cancer. And do you want to tell us a little bit about how you found your lump?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've never done like a real professional self-exam or anything, but I always had like bigger breasts, so everything was just kind of in the way. Like I always felt everything when I was getting dressed, or if I was in the shower, just like washing myself. I think that one day I was just getting dressed and I almost saw it. Like I was leaning back a little bit and it was like a little risen spot. So I was like, oh, what is that? And I had a feeling right away. I just kind of knew. So I called my gynecologist immediately. I didn't wait. I didn't waste any time. There was no days in between. Like it was, because you have always preached to me,
Early detection.
early detection.
Right.
So yeah.
And Kaitlin had, just let the audience know here, that you had lost about what,
That's another
25
thing I was
pounds?
going to mention. Yeah. So from January to, I think I felt the lump like early June, I think. I lost like 30 to 40 pounds. So I would say that was a blessing, because I think it was just hidden under all the fat. I mean, as women, like we lose weight and the fat just like kind of melts off our boobs, and then they kind of start to hang a little bit. So I was like,
Not anymore, girl.
oh yeah, no. So yeah, so that was definitely a silver lining to losing some weight, was it kind of just came to the surface. So I'm very grateful for that, because who knows how long I would have been sitting there for.
Right. And one of the most important things that Kaitlin says is, you found a lump, and what did you do?
Oh, I called right away. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There was no lag time. So she immediately called her doctor. In fact, she was so brave. She went to her gynecologist. I mean, you can tell the story because you did so much of that without telling anyone else, but you took action.
Yeah. And I wasn't hiding it. It was more of just, I think I'll be okay. Like if anything is wrong, then I'll like, do exactly what I did. And I called you. I called my dad. But yeah, so I went to the gynecologist. She was like, yeah, I'll write you a script for a mammogram. I mean, between the time that I felt the lump and then the mammogram and ultrasound, well, she wrote me a script for an ultrasound because she thought I'm too young for a mammogram.
At 23 years old,
yeah, they don't.
You're afraid you might not be listened to at 23.
Yeah, you have to advocate for yourself for sure. Yeah. But yeah, so she wrote me a script for an ultrasound. I think between when I first felt it and when I got the ultrasound, it was about 2 weeks. So it was a heavy 2 weeks. I was like, I just know something's wrong. And of course, I'm doing the Googling. It's like, oh, if it's hard, if it doesn't move, and it was all these things. But I mean, everybody has their own experience, and there's different characteristics for different lumps, obviously. But yeah, so I was a little nervous, but I got the ultrasound. Yeah.
So when you got the ultrasound and you got the positive diagnosis, what went through your mind at 23 years old?
Yeah.
Knowing your mom had passed from this.
Yeah.
What did you go through?
It was a lot. I mean, I had gotten the biopsy done. I called my Aunt Noreen right away. So it was great knowing I had support. I mean, I had like a crazy amount of support. My whole family was right behind me. So that was great.
Yes.
But yeah, it was nerve-wracking for sure, obviously. But I mean, there was no other option than to just face it head on. I had a few days to prepare for the diagnosis because I got I think it was the biopsy, like the summary, and it said BIRAD. What is it? How do you like?
BIRAD positive,
Yeah, no, well, it's a
with the
BIRAD
number of
5.
Yeah.
So it was, of course, I'm Googling, and I'm in school to be a surg tech. So it was all these medical terms that I understood. So it was, I had
Scary.
days to prepare before I had really gotten the final like pathology results. But yeah, so I saw BIRAD 5 and I was like, which is the number below 6, which is when you're actually diagnosed malignant, right?
Right.
So yeah.
So yeah, they diagnose things in grades. And so if they're saying you're a 5, you don't even have the pathology results back, you probably kind of knew something about that.
Yeah, so it was different for me. It wasn't like a phone call, oh, you have cancer. It was kind of just me reading all my tests, preparing, and then I saw the pathology results. It was like a Friday at like 4 o'clock. So all the doctors' offices are closing.
June 13th. I will never
June 13th,
forget
I'll
it.
never forget it. Yeah. So I saw it go into my chart, which the doctors don't have much control over. It just kind of drops into your chart. But I was, you know, I saw it before I ever got a phone call. So I called my aunt and it was more of a me letting you know.
Yes.
You were on vacation too. Yeah, I'm sorry to ruin your vacation.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed. Yeah.
And at 4:15 on a Friday from Disney.
Yes.
And Disney was her mother's favorite spot. I mean, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
We got right on the phone. We called Sloan Kettering. They got us in. Well, they took all the information. They were amazing.
You knew a bunch of phone numbers, which was very helpful. I was
Yep.
like, I don't know what to do now because everybody, of course, I tried to call the radiologist, you know, my gynecologist, a breast surgeon, like no one was answering because
It was a Friday
it was a Friday afternoon.
in June.
Yeah.
Friday in June.
Yeah.
So, but we did get an appointment. Well, we actually they said that they would call us back. They were going to expedite it
we got
because
through
she
a
was so
couple of
young.
cases,
Because she was 23, the woman on the phone said, typically we don't see anyone, which I thought was odd. We don't see anyone. Not that we don't see them, but we have to get all the test results in order to make them a priority case.
Right.
Because at that age, but she said, wow, 23 is really young.
I was like, I got all the results for you. Don't worry.
I know. But she was amazing.
Yeah, she was.
Right.
And then my gynecologist called me back. So I was able to briefly talk about it with some people, but yeah.
Were you given options to, yes, Kaitlin, you definitely need a single mastectomy. Yes, you need a double. No, you can just have chemo or radiation. At your age, at 23, were your options a little different than ours in our 40s?
I don't know about the age difference, but I'm not sure if I really gave my surgeon an option to give me options.
Go, girl.
Right? I went and I was like, I definitely want a double mastectomy. I had no doubt in my mind that's what I wanted to do. So at that point, I'm not sure if we knew that it was in my lymph nodes. So I think if it's in your lymph nodes, then a lumpectomy isn't an option, right?
Right.
Is that true?
Right.
If it's not in your lymph nodes, then a lumpectomy is an option. But for me, we didn't know at that point.
You knew what you wanted.
Yeah, I knew what I wanted, definitely. I wasn't going to do a single, that was for sure. But yeah, double was like the only option for me.
Here you are. So how long has it been since your double mastectomy?
Almost exactly a month.
4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Look at this.
4 weeks
Girl.
today.
Look at this girl.
4 weeks today.
Yeah.
She had her mastectomy.
Yeah, and I mean, it hasn't always been like it is now. The first couple weeks were rough, and there's still hard days. Like, I feel tight and all that, but and I just had my first fill.
Yes, she did. Oh, wait, we're going to get back to all that. So
I
first,
don't want to go to school.
Okay, no, you're doing great.
great.
Kaitlin had chemotherapy first.
Okay, yes.
Because the most current research, and this was new since I went through this with your mother, and I've been through it with a couple other friends, and certainly since we went through it, there's always new research coming. And there was a research study. It was called the Catherine study. I don't know why. That's my grandmother's name. I think that's why I remember it.
Yeah.
And it was from 4 years ago. And the Catherine study showed that if your tumor was more than, I believe, 20 centimeters, I'd have to go back and look, that the recommendation, and certainly if it went to a lymph node, the recommendation was that you had chemotherapy first, and then you had a mastectomy. And for me, at first I was like, oh my God, no, we need to, I think everyone's gut reaction is, I need to get this out of me.
Right.
But looking back at your course and how it was explained to us is, if you have chemotherapy and you have the tumor still there and you have the cancer in a lymph node, which for Kaitlin, it went to 2 lymph nodes, right? What happens is 3 treatments in, they actually did an MRI and they saw that the tumor size decreased by 50%, and that the lymph node almost looked normal. And then the best news, I'm kind of jumping ahead to the best news, right?
Yeah.
But now they do the mastectomy and they do pathology of all of your breast tissue and your lymph nodes. And because she had a biopsy of her lymph node. They put clips in the 2 lymph nodes. So they knew exactly the lymph nodes that the cancer went to. And they did insert the dye first to see
Yeah.
if it went anywhere else because it's called a sentinel node. They insert dye into your breast and that tissue takes up the dye. So it's kind of like a railroad track right to the lymph nodes. And luckily for hers, no others lit up. But they were definitively able to say by looking at her pathology afterwards, we heard the words this week, cured.
Cancer
That
free.
she is cancer free. That deserves that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So that is the amazing thing with this study. Whereas I think about my friends, I think about my cousin
Right.
who did the mastectomy first and then chemo. And the good thing would have been, God forbid that you still had disease, they then would have been able to change up her treatment and the drugs that they were using to treat what was left.
Yeah.
Right. So how did you feel? Let's talk a little bit about chemotherapy.
I'm happy that I did it first. I feel like that gave me time to heal like everything from chemo so that during surgery I didn't have to worry about, you know, all the symptoms that I was getting or the side effects I was getting from chemo. And I didn't have to wash my hair, which was amazing. I was like, because I remember when we first, were setting a plan for everything. I was like, I think I want to do surgery first. Not as much as like, oh, I need to get it out of me, but I think I just wanted to like get the surgery over with.
Right.
But I mean, chemo was really the hard part. So
Did you feel sick? Did you?
yeah, every infusion I felt totally different than the last. So, but they say it's like a cumulative effect. So it did get like a little bit worse towards the end each time.
What did you feel like the first time after your first treatment?
Okay. So after the first treatment, I was very fatigued, very tired, which is what I expected. Yeah, my hair started to fall out probably like 2 weeks after. It was slow and then it got really fast. Yeah, it was hard. It was less traumatic than I thought it would be. Like I remember right before the first night of chemo, I called my aunt. I was like, I'm gonna lose my hair. That's so scary. But yeah, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I love being bald. Being bald is so fun and freeing.
Wow.
But-
All right.
But yeah, thanks to breast intentions,
Yeah.
I have my beautiful wig and it made me feel so much more comfortable to fall back on, even if I had a rough day being like not feeling like myself.
Right.
But yeah, so I felt very tired. I had like very dry mouth.
A lot of
My
sores.
gums were
Yeah.
very sensitive, like brushing my teeth was horrible. I remember I had a dentist appointment. I was like, I cannot do this. That's not an option. Dry
Do
skin.
you feel like they prepared you for that? Were you just surprised, like, oh, this must just be from the chemo, or were you expecting some
I was
things,
expecting,
or-
yeah, everything. I knew everything was normal, but I still called. Like
Yeah,
I had this nurse on my team who I called. I was like, is this normal? And 99% of the things I was feeling was very much expected. But yeah, when you're actually feeling it, it's different than knowing I'm about to feel this.
Sure,
So
sure.
yeah, so I was very nauseous for a few days, but it was only a week. Like I had every 3 weeks I had an infusion. So it was about a week where I just felt super
Right.
like I didn't feel like myself. I was very nauseous. I couldn't really eat. I mean, I had an appetite, but I couldn't taste anything. My taste bud, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So it gave you about a week and a half to 2 weeks to get back into good
yeah.
shape. To
And
do it
then
again.
yeah,
And how
exactly.
many rounds of chemo did you have?
I did 4 total, right? Was
Four
it
total.
4? Yeah.
4 total.
But yeah, it was four rounds total.
Okay.
So I got blessed because some people have to do way
Yeah,
more than me.
yeah.
But yeah,
And then how long after your last treatment were you able to go for your surgery?
it was, I want to say 6 weeks, something
So
like
that
that.
got you
Yeah.
strong again when you
Yeah.
can go then for the
Mhm.
surgery. And I mean, the only advantage of having this cancer at a young age is you're young, you're healthy.
Yeah.
So the double mastectomy surgery, you're going into it, you're thin, you're healthy, you're young, you don't smoke, you're probably drinking to a minimum. So those are all good things that help you to post-operatively get through it physically.
Right.
There's always that mental issue
Oh, of course,
after
yeah.
it. Sometimes we do touch upon it on this show a lot about the mental part of, well, what next? It's done, and I look in the mirror and I look different.
Yeah.
But you
No,
were 4
definitely.
weeks out and
Can you,
cancer-free.
yeah, can you talk us through the mastectomy? Like you're going in, okay, we're
Yeah.
done with the chemo. And she did know going in that afterwards she was going to have to continue with, it's interesting. We just asked the other day, okay, this isn't chemo, but what is it? It's actually protein
Oh,
therapy.
yes. Yeah.
So she will have to continue with 2 drugs because Kaitlin has triple positive breast cancer. So it's estrogen positive, progesterone positive, and HER2 positive. The HER2 is the most aggressive part of it. So until June, she just started this week. She had
Yeah.
her first treatment. but it's technically not chemotherapy. It's not toxic to your body. It is a protein that specifically attacks the HER2 receptor that sits on the cell. So if there's anything floating around her body, that's what this treatment is for. But the good thing is it only has one bad side effect, which you're going to find hysterical because she loves it. What is it?
It's basically like a laxative. For some people that might be like debilitating, but for me, I was like, I would rather, because I'm on all these meds from surgery, which kind of make you feel constipated, which is like the worst feeling ever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Herceptin and Perjeta is what I'm on now.
Yes.
Which is much easier than what I was doing before. But
It's a way to look at the positive.
Yes. And that's what she
the
is
only
now.
option you have, really.
Yeah, her mindset has been amazing.
Oh, thank you.
But and we will definitely get into your mindset. Let's go back to the day of your surgery.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through how did you feel? What was going through your head?
I kind of like how they do it like super, super early in the morning, so you don't have time to really. I mean, I feel like most of the time it's done early in the morning, right?
That one usually is.
Okay. So yeah, so if I had like the day to think about it, I would have gotten in my head a little bit. But I mean, I had my dad, I had my aunt by my side, like with me in the hospital. It was great. So I like to we kind of laugh. I feel like having you there with me is so fun, just because it's you're hanging out. But yeah, I was a little nervous. I mean, it wasn't anything like that I hadn't expected. I had done a bunch of research. My doctors were very informative. Oh, and I also saw my mom go through it. So I kind of knew.
Right.
But I mean, her experience was very different because she was going through chemo right around her surgery, right?
Right afterwards.
Right afterwards. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah. How old were you when your mom was going through that?
I was, I guess, 10 when she got diagnosed, and I was 12 when she passed. Yeah. But yeah, her experience was very different than mine. Then she had to do radiation after, which was like it just didn't help her heal as well as I did. So, but yeah. So the day of surgery was, I mean, it wasn't, think about the day of surgery because I didn't like prepare for that at all.
No. Just what was your feeling going in? Were you nervous? Were you excited that the day finally came? Because I know for me, it was something that was looming in my head. Want it over with. And as nervous as I was that day, I was like, thank God, I just put me to sleep. I just want to wake up and get on the other side of this.
Yeah.
Wake up and it's over.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely nervous, but I was excited for it to be over. Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it was my first surgery. And I mean, I had my tonsils out when I was like 7, but I've never been under anesthesia. So that was like a big, I mean, I wasn't super scared. I know I was in good hands, but it's scary when you're like getting rolled back there. So, but then before you know it, you're awake and then you're in recovery. So
yeah,
it was great.
In the new journey. And speaking of good hands, we all have the same doctor again?
Yes, we do.
We do. Same
professor. Same as my mom.
The same surgeon.
And we will get her on.
We will.
She'll be on her.
So this is the effect of a great breast surgeon. Yes, to be here and to be able to sit and talk about it. To be able to sometimes even laugh about it because we've got through it. We overcame it. And 4 weeks later, and you're a rock star.
Oh, thank you.
You really are.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah, the difference time makes is crazy. I mean, you would like right after surgery, you said that to me. You were like, just wait 1 week. Give it 1 week and it'll be a whole different world. So
once the drains are out.
Yeah. Well, the drains were.
So talk to us a little bit about that. Now you're recovering. You are. I have to say something funny,
please,
because Kaitlin is in her bed right after surgery. I may have told you this or not. And she goes like this. Oh my gosh, is this where they're supposed to be?
Yeah, the weight loss was like a big thing for me because I had always my whole life, I had like big boobs.
Right.
They were just big, like they were perky. And then I had lost. I feel like I should say that.
Yes, intentionally.
Yeah,
right.
It was intentional because some people may think that's like a sign of cancer, but for some people it might be. But for me, I was drinking a lot. I decided to stop drinking and go into a calorie deficit and do some weightlifting. And it totally changed my body.
And it saved your life.
And it saved my life. Exactly. Yeah. But it totally changed my body. So at that point I was like, the only thing that I don't really like on myself anymore is my boobs. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's another thing I know a lot of people struggle with, looking yourself in the mirror after.
So let's talk about that.
It's the best thing. You look like it's a whole new body, but you look gorgeous. Thank you.
I know. Kaitlin walked in today and she wasn't in the office for 5 seconds. She's like, Steph, you want to see them? I'm like,
I was like, yeah. I just want to show everybody. I'll be at the bar. I go out and at the bars
them?
and like
Yeah.
with my friends. When you guys want to see my boobs in
Yeah.
the bathroom, it's so fun. It's like
like
a party trick.
Yeah, Noreen said before she got here, she might want to show you. I go, I want
that's so
to
funny.
see them. I want to see them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they look
especially after
amazing.
the first fill. You start to
Yes.
feel like
So
yourself again.
that's what we're about to talk about. She's in the stages of the filling. She
Yes.
has the tissue expanders in, like we spoke
Yes.
about on one of our other episodes.
Yes.
Tissue expanders, the way we like to explain it, is almost like an empty water balloon. And
That's exactly what I tell my best friend. I was like, it feels like
with a port.
a balloon.
And that port, every 2 weeks, you go in every 2 weeks?
Yes, 2 weeks.
So that every 2 weeks they go in and they put a little bit of fluid in and a little bit of fluid in, and it makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. The joke that I said, because I was 42, was I felt like I was a teenager again. I was going through puberty, and every 2 weeks I was like, honey, look, I'm a little bigger, I'm a little bigger, I'm a little bigger. Unfortunately, you're 23 years old, so that's not even a funny joke for you. For us, it's funny because we're not 40.
Yeah,
but you're so young that this never should have happened.
Well, I mean, I'm happy I got it over with,
Yeah.
honestly. Even though there's a chance of reoccurrence.
Well, you're doing
No.
everything you can for
Yeah.
that chance to
Yes.
not happen.
Exactly.
And with the studies today and the doctors that you have and the attitude alone, the mentality that you have at 24 now.
24 now, yeah.
24, she's 24 now. 24 years old. The way that you have handled this should be so inspiring to others.
Yeah.
Now, I know Noreen is your aunt, and sometimes you feel like family has to say that. I don't have to say that. And as a nurse and as a mother and as a person who has survived this, I look at you and I am so proud of you. And I am so hopeful for the young future of today, that they can see you and what you took from this horrible disease and how you came out of it. And I am just so proud of you.
Thank you so
I really,
much.
really am. I mean, you are
so
sweet. So amazing. So amazing. All right, well,
you're making me cry now. Oh my
Sorry.
God. But I mean, that's your mindset will make the whole experience or break it. Yeah. Like truly.
And you could have went the other way with it and you didn't.
And I think I've asked you this before, what do you think, like, where does that come from, right? Where do you think?
I think knowing that I'm not alone is a huge thing. I mean, having support, even if you don't have family right by your side, there's you guys. Your boob buddies.
That's
right.
That's what everyone has.
That's why we're here.
Buddy.
That's why we're here. Yeah. So whether you have the family behind you or not, I mean, you're never alone. Also, going to the hospital, it's very important to pick a team that you trust. I mean, it's hard to find doctors that you're not going to trust, but I would go to chemo and I would love the infusion nurses. They're like, so you don't feel alone in the process. I mean, when I got my port put in, I loved the radiology women. Like it was such a great experience. If I'm being honest, yeah, it's like you meet the most amazing people through it.
It's what you made of it too. It's how you went into it looking at it. Because other people might come out and say, "It's the worst experience I've ever had. It's horrible. Everything was horrible."
Yeah, if you go into it
you have
thinking
to go
that,
into it with your personality and your enthusiasm, and you come back out this way.
What do you think, Kaitlin, was the hardest part so far? Because your journey is not over.
Right.
I mean, mastectomy 4 weeks ago. She still has a full year to go through of the Herceptin
surgery too.
and Perjeta, right, in probably the end of mid-December or so. If everything goes according to plan with her fills, she will end up swapping out, thank God, those square.
You said it like a
Square boob.
baseball in a tight square spot.
Yes.
You said that it was like it's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. I mean, the uncomfortability kind of goes away.
Yeah, but then when you go for your next fill, it's going to tighten up
You're a
again.
little sore
You're
for a
going to
little
feel
bit.
like those hard baseballs.
Right. But I don't feel anything like I did right after surgery. It feels less square now.
Yeah. They look good.
So
Yeah. So what do you think was so far to this point the most difficult part of your journey?
Probably, I guess chemotherapy was very rough because you're going through it, but not everybody around you exactly when you're feeling what you're feeling. So some people may be like, "Oh, you're going to chemo today. It's going to be a rough couple days, and then it goes away." But there's random like hours throughout the day where everything just kind of goes downhill. You don't want to tell anybody that, so it kind of makes going about your normal life difficult, obviously. Yeah, I guess that would probably be the hardest part.
And what advice would you give to someone about chemo right now, like that you've just been through it? Could you give any advice to someone, like to make it a little easier? What would you recommend?
Definitely don't be afraid to call up anybody on your team. Call a nurse or your oncologist. And even if you know for a fact what you're feeling is very normal, it's always a great peace of mind just to hear it from a healthcare professional. That's like, because every time I would feel something, I'm like, oh God, is this like so annoying if I call again? But just call. It'll make you feel so much better.
It's great
And
advice.
I will say I'm so proud of her too, because I know even when I went through this or even going through things, I'm not the one that calls the doctor or the nurse. I'm always like, "Oh, I don't want to bother them. This will go
Oh,
away."
yeah.
And
I was right on the
Kaitlin,
phone. I was like, "Tell me this is normal, please." And it always is.
yes,
Yeah.
but she was such a true advocate for herself.
Yes.
It was amazing. From day one, she researched. She didn't shy away from anything. She wanted to know worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
And even though it was scary, she wanted to know. And I think that is something that people can learn from, because I do know lots of people, they feel a lump, they ignore it, it'll go away.
Right.
Or they find out and they go to the doctor and the doctor says one thing and they're like, okay, fine, whatever you say. And they don't go to another doctor. I mean, we went to 3 oncologists.
Yeah.
We went to 2
Couple different
breast
breast
surgeons.
surgeons.
We went to a couple different plastic surgeons. So really gathering your information and picking your team. Because in my mind, I thought, oh, we're definitely using this oncologist.
Oh,
until
yeah. You'll be surprised once you go to the appointments and just ask every question, because that's how you get to know your team.
Yes, because you really, really want to pick your team. And no matter what other people are telling you, you should do. I think,
Trust yourself.
thank you.
Yeah. So
Yes,
yeah. Trust your
absolutely.
intuition. That's
That
for
is
sure.
great
Trust your,
advice.
Yeah.
and even at 24 years old, she trusted her intuition and she went into those appointments with such, what's the right word? I don't even know the word to use.
Confidence.
With confidence.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And she was so confident. She asked questions. She wasn't afraid. She was truly part of the team. And that is so important. Be part of the team. And then listen, I know that sometimes people aren't feeling good. You're feeling sick. And that's why you should always have someone else with you, because
That's
they
another thing
can
I was
then be
gonna
part
say.
of your team, right?
Yeah.
They can take the notes. And there were a lot of times we were like, wait, what did they say? I'm like,
Mhm.
you asked the question. She goes,
Yeah.
I know, but I don't
Stephanie
remember.
In
Those
one
are very
episode, you were
important.
like, make sure that
Make
somebody's
sure
with you in the
yeah.
appointment. Oh my God, I can't recommend.
It's
I
like,
don't. Of course, I'm a big fan. I'm a boob buddy.
forever.
No, yeah, my in-law was at like every single appointment with me. I was like,
Good.
the amount of time I'd be like, what did they say? What did they say? What?
She's a good one to have.
Definitely.
She's a good one to have.
Or even just voice recording the appointment if you don't have anybody there with you, is you could always listen to it later and then call if you have any questions.
Yeah.
To your
You
doctor.
really came through this. And again, you're still in the beginning of your journey.
Yeah.
But we would love to have you back at the end of the journey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
we can talk all about everything else that you
Hormone
had gone
therapy.
through. Right.
Definitely. Right.
Yeah. At 24 years old, you have a full life ahead of you.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to watch every bit of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And that is part of it too. She has to make the decision, although the decision is kind of made for her, for
Oh, yeah.
hormone therapy. So she'll be put on something called tamoxifen, which is an estrogen blocker. I learned something new because I thought it shut down your estrogen completely, but it
It
doesn't.
just lowers it.
It lowers it.
Yeah.
So she'll still have regular cycles, well, after the chemo part of it. While you're on tamoxifen, you cannot get pregnant. Not that you can't get pregnant, but you should not get pregnant because it's toxic to the fetus. So she'll have that to look forward to figuring all that out in the future. If she does want to have a family, you better have kids. But that's something else that you have to take into consideration. And you know what's interesting? You have taken such a heavy situation. Not only your age, aside, but being diagnosed with breast cancer, going through chemo, going through mastectomy, going through a full year of treatment, and looking at you've taken it so lightly, but this is a very serious topic.
Yeah.
And what advice, if anyone who's listening, old, young, but specifically to people your age, because unfortunately,
Numbers are going up.
numbers are going up.
Yeah.
The diagnosis of younger women being diagnosed with breast cancer is astounding to me.
Right.
What advice would you give to your age group of ladies that are watching this right now?
Do your self exams, because I don't know if I didn't lose the weight, I don't know if it would have shown up. But if I did press hard enough, or if I did it, the professional way, I probably would have felt it maybe a couple months earlier. Who knows? But again, trust your intuition. Go to all your doctor's appointments. Take care of yourself. I mean, it's easier said than done, but yeah, I would just say do your self exams is because you're never too young.
Great advice. And if you're not sure how to do a self-exam, obviously there's always Google and ChatGPT,
Right, yeah.
but you can give us a call too. We
yeah.
can talk you through it.
Yeah.
And we would love to help you with that. When you're in the shower, it's really the best place because it's a little warm and all that. we will be able to help you with that if you need any help with breast exams.
Yeah,
because
maybe
that
we
is
can
first.
do a link
for us to
below
send you a link.
this episode
Yeah.
as to how to
A little
do
bit of a link.
a self breast exam.
Okay.
So is there anything else? These are all our questions that
So
we have for
obviously
Kaitlin.
we write questions and we don't even use them.
I-
We just ad lib.
Yeah,
which
just
is
give
the
it
best.
a
Oh,
conversation.
yeah, I have
the
one
best
more
way.
question for you because I think this is a good one.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone who's supporting a loved one through a cancer diagnosis?
Oh yeah, that's a good one because everybody forgets about the people. You feel like you are the patient, but then you forget about the people around you who are also going through it with you. I mean, it's hard to watch your daughter, your girlfriend, best friend, whatever, go through it. So, my advice to the loved one. I would say just, I don't know.
Find support. There's support
Yeah.
for people, right?
Yeah. Wait, I want to think of something good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, while Caitlin's thinking, I will let you know that for my situation, one of the husbands reached out to my husband because a mutual friend of ours, the husband was like, I'm going to reach out to Steph's husband because there's things that he might need to know. He might need to
Yeah.
talk, and people forget like he's the other half of me. And so
Right.
it was very nice for the other husband of a cancer patient to reach out to my husband.
That's a big thing, yeah. Because I never wanted anybody around me to feel alone because it's hard for them as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just stay a team is really a good way to get through it.
Well, thank you so much
Thank you
for your
guys.
time. We love you. We
do love you, and we do have an extra special person here right now.
Oh yes,
You know what I'm talking about.
yes,
That is amazing.
it's
That is
cool.
That is
So,
amazing.
Thank you guys so much for
Thank you
having
for
me
having
on.
us.
Of course.
Please feel free to reach out. Obviously, you have my number.
Yeah.
Boob
Same
Buddies.
with you guys.
We're Boob Buddies forever.
Boob Buddies forever, absolutely.
Boob Buddies forever. Listen, if Caitlin's story touched you today and you know someone that could use this episode to help them get through a difficult time, to help a loved one get through a difficult time, please share this episode. Please like this episode and subscribe to our channel so that you get alerted for the next Boob Buddies episode that comes up.
And remember, cancer does not discriminate with age. No, it can come at any age, at any time. You don't have to have a family history. Please be vigilant, pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your body, and be your self-advocate. Call those doctors and advocate for yourself.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Boob Buddies.
That was good.